Start. Sir, I am saying is at an anti-farmer budget because compared to last so many years, the budget for agriculture for the first time has been cut by 14%. Budget for National Food Security Mission has been lowered by rupees 500 crores. There is a cut in agriculture by 14% and therefore it is totally an anti-farmer budget. For education, the budget has been slashed shockingly by 16% and the budget for school education has been cut by 25%, which would affect the mid-day meal scheme. The budget for Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan has been cut by 22%, which is really shameful. But most surprisingly, even the budget for important schemes like integrated child development scheme, which gives healthy food to children, has been cut down from rupees 16,000 crores to rupees 8,000 crores to keep the poor children hungry and therefore ensure that they do not go to the school, do not study and do not develop para. Even the budget for National Rural Livelihood Mission, which is go to give jobs in rural areas, has been cut from rupees 2,000 crores to rupees 1,000 crores. All this shows that it is a pro poor and anti Kisan budget, where in fact instead of increasing the Kisan budget, their budget has been cut for everything. There is one answer from the Honorable Finance Minister, who is not here, but the other day the Prime Minister has also said devaluation to states. For every question, they give one answer from 32% to 42% we have made to the states, and devolution is there. We have given it to the states, therefore, we are cutting the schemes. Now, in regard to this, I have to say that for justifying every cut, the government says that they have accepted the recommendations of the Finance Commission, which has suggested devaluation from 32% to 42% to states. Accordingly, there is devolution by increasing states' share by 10%, but we have to see as to what the actual devaluation is. In fact, the government has given with one hand and taken away by other hand. This becomes clear because the increase in devolution is claimed to be more than 1.2 lakh crores. Stop. Sir, I welcome the increase in reduction on health insurance premium and further increase in this limit in respect of senior citizens. I would like to remind the Honorable Finance Minister that generally the insurance companies in the private sector do not entertain enrollment of people above 60 years of age. I urge the Honorable Minister to ensure strict compliance of the benefits announced in this budget by the insurance companies, both in private and government sectors. It is true that a large part of India's population is without insurance of any kind, health, accident or life. The announcement of creation of health insurance, Atal Pension Yojana, and Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana for workers in the unorganized sector from the age of 18 to 40 para. While coming to the health sector, I would like to point out the allocation is not enough, which is less than last year. Sir, it is not clear how the marginal allocation will take the family planning agenda and the new All India Institutes of Medical Sciences. In the revised estimates, the allocation was reduced, bringing the total health expenditure in the first 3 years of the 12th 5-year plan to rupees 70,000, way below the rupees 2,000 crores budgetary allocation targeted. Again, sir, as far as the Department of Health is concerned, as my friend has earlier stated, that all human beings should have good health as it is wealth. The government of Tamil Nadu has been taking many steps of establish a health community in order to ensure that competent doctors and medical personnel are appointed in time in government hospitals. A medical recruitment board, the first of its kind in India, has been constituted in Tamil Nadu for the welfare of the poor. The Chief Minister's comprehensive health insurance scheme is being implemented. Under this new insurance scheme, each family get a cover of rupees 1 lakh per year and rupees 4 lakh in 4 years for certain specified treatments. A sum of rupees 1.5 lakh is being given in the last 3 years from 2011 to May 2014. Under this scheme, 6 lakh poor people have received treatment to the extent of rupees 1 crore. Of the above, 2 lakh persons have been treated in government hospitals. Again, the education sector faces one of the biggest budgetary cut in the current year's budget. Stop. Start. Sir, I thank the chair for permitting me to participate in the debate on this general budget. Sir, the budget is a process which our constitution makes mandatory to draw money from the consolidated fund of India. Sir, as far as the union budget of 2015-16 is concerned, I would like to submit certain suggestions. I would like to tell the Honorable Finance Minister that our expectations have not been fulfilled. The Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is the flagship campaign of the Government of India. The Government of India now provides rupees 15,000 for construction of one toilet per rural household, which is insufficient due to the increased cost of raw material, and this cost would further rise due to the enhancement made in the budget. Under the valuable guidance of my leader, the government of Tamil Nadu has completed underground sewerage schemes for 22 urban local bodies, and for another 18 urban local bodies the construction is underway. For the remaining urban local bodies, detailed project reports are ready for the construction of underground sewerage at a total cost of rupees 22,000 crores. The Government of India must also focus on arranging substantial funding for the underground sewerage schemes, including concessional aid, as we cannot hope to have public health in urban areas without adequate underground sewerage. Para. I ask the Government of India to activate a special committee constituted for the implementation of interlinking of rivers based on the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. The people of Tamil Nadu expect that one day Ganga will be interlinked with Kaveri. The process of policy actions turn around of the economy and restoration of economic stability were added by favorable global factors, especially the fall in petroleum prices. Global oil prices have declined sharply since June last year. Unfortunately, many taxation actions of the Government of India have meant that the drop in petroleum prices has not been fully passed on to the consumers. However, the government raised petrol and diesel rates for the second time in a month as global crude prices rebounded and the rupee weakened against the greenback. I want to say here is that when there is a fall in the oil prices, people should get benefit. Stop.
थैंक यू। इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करें ताकि लेटेस्ट वीडियो की जानकारी आप तक सबसे पहले पहुंच सके। वीडियो को लाइक और डिसलाइक अवश्य करें। कोई सुझाव और प्रश्न हो तो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखें और वीडियो को अपने फ्रेंड्स और क्लासमेट्स को शेयर करें।